Hey, y'all, it's great to see you. Come on in.
We have our third soap today from Bricktown Grooming.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, it's great to see you. Come on in. Welcome to the Barbershop. Your chair's always open. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, join the live chat and meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of folks from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we promised to get back to you about all of the new bath soaps from Sterling that just dropped. And this one is a surprising winner in our household here.
Y'all, we do know that Rod and Mandy very often to audition their new scents for full lines will put them in a bar soap and sometimes even release them at a discount so that we will all try them, and we love this system. So would you like to announce of the 5 or 6 that they recently released what the clear winner was?
And even our friends that we sent this to have little kids, and out of the box of all the ones that they sent, this is the one where their face lit up the most.
So who would have thought that 2 identical twin boys would have preferred sparkling cranberry pear as the clear winner? Ooh, y'all, and it is fabulous. I even get a sense of champagne and effervescence in
I do too. And there's the perfect amount of sweet from the pear that meets with the cranberry side that can sometimes be a little more bitter. Like cranberry is not as sweet on its own.
A tartness to
That's
cranberry
the word,
that
yes.
is in this. And when I smell it, my nose goes back and forth between the sweet and the tart, like I'm drinking an ocean spray cocktail.
Exactly. It just wakes you up.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So surprising. This one, out of all of our new ones, we really thought would be going a lot more sweet with the candy corn or something else. But oddly, this is the winner out of the recent batch.
So stay tuned for reviews of apple, waffle, and candy corn because those 2 also made their mark. All right, and what's our soap today?
Our soap is long awaited. We were so lucky to actually meet Phil and hang out with him, so we've been waiting to open this one. But Carpenter's Mate has finally made it to the schedule, and I'm super excited.
Me too, because there aren't many reviews on YouTube that we've noticed on Carpenter's Mate. But when I mention Bricktown Grooming to the brethren,
it's on the list.
First thing they say is, did you get Carpenter's Mate?
And we did.
We did now. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, so from the sales page at razoremporium.com.
We have now paired with Bricktown Grooming to exclusively offer the Bricktown Grooming Shave Soap. Bricktown Grooming is an artisan company that provides American-made goods to the wet shaving community. Made with cedar and leather essential oils, Carpenter's Mate was named after one of the oldest ratings in the Navy. Used from the 18th century to World War II, these men repaired the wooden hulls of the ship in whatever part of the world they stopped with hand tools. Wow.
Y'all, then they need to be honored and remembered. Are you kidding me? What a job that is. And I love that he used essential oils in this. The real thing, y'all. And at $15, I know we never mention price here on the Barbershop Duet unless that is part of the philosophy. And are you kidding me with this? A formula we love at a price that we can collect. Hey, let's let this out of the box.
I do feel like I've seen some pictures of Carpenter's Mates, and I remember thinking, like, they're kind of small, like my size, and then I realized they have to, like, origami themselves into the front of the hole and be able to work on tools and stuff, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if they were, like, military enlisted people who then knew how to do that, or if they would go in search of a carpenter when they get ready to go overseas. Because even sometimes the people they send up to the space station are not like astronauts in the traditional sense. They know how to fix that toilet that's up there.
It's important.
So they're like a specialist or an mission specialist. Who knows? I bet mysteries and wonders will be discovered today.
Educated,
All right, let's see what's in the box.
It's the last one, last standing man in the box.
Yeah, and we actually got to meet Phil in person, and he was talking about his decision to make these labels sort of uniform, get it, military, but to have the name change on each one. And I love that because they look so beautiful all together in the cabinet.
Oh, we needed this new friend in our den. I'm excited.
And you're going to have our first impression. All right, here we go. Take it in. Let's see what you get. I'm kind of curious to see where the leather stands in this. I think going by the name, it's primarily a wood soap, but let's see what happens.
I just feel like we're going to get a fun character that's going to come out of it. Like, I feel like the reason everyone was suggesting that we do this is it just has its own little statement on its own, I think.
Usually when a soap like this ripples through the community, there is a reason. All right, let's see if this pays off. Here we go.
Here's our lovely pour for our friends. 4 ounces of fun. Here we go.
4 ounces of fun.
We actually don't have anything like this.
Ah, no? What do you got?
Okay.
Because with like worst cabin ever, I mean, we've got cedars, y'all. But what do we got here?
Hold on. It is not just leather. There's like the woods are definitely there, and then there's something bright that's happening. Like
Nice.
I wasn't expecting, which is kind of fun. Like I was thinking this would be more of an evening scent, just assuming. But smelling this, no, I think this is a good all day, everyday scent.
Nice.
It is super refreshing. Like, I don't know why I was thinking like older leather, dingy, working on a boat for a long time. No, this is the opposite side.
Refreshing. Usually I think like citrus or something like that, but no, not here. Refreshing woods and leathers.
But if those could become what you get when you smell a bright citrus,
right.
That's where I'm at. There's some greens in here, but they're not the normal like vetiver or something. And there's I'm not getting like tree necessarily, that we've been doing more recently.
Right.
I feel like this is a very well put together person. This is definitely somebody you want to hang out with.
Nice.
And they have a very clear mind. I don't know how to make that. Like there's no chaos happening here.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just the simplicity is so clear with how they connect that's all you need. Like I feel like there's literally maybe 3 or 4 scent notes in here, but the way that they're mixed together has some like geniusness level happening.
Well, you do want your Carpenter's mate to be on the more calm, collected, put together side. I mean, if you wake a guy up and say, hey, the ship's broken, can you fix it? You don't want him losing his mind. Right.
I feel like we're getting brand new leather mixed with, if you could take wood when you first cut into it, like that crispness happening, like somehow it's fresh.
I love that smell. Y'all, as a theater kid, when they start to build the set, they just get the Home Depot truck pull in full of lumber and they just build it right there on Broadway. They build it in the middle of the house. They take out all the seats. They bring in the seats after the show opens, right? Oh, love that.
And I somehow feel like maybe there's like cool in the air or crisp somehow. So I think whatever the wood tree part that I'm getting is more of a fall tree maybe or something.
Some fall spices.
Right, like I do feel like it could be all year, but there's something in there that's making me feel like it's a little foggier outside or it's a little cooler maybe, off the ships. I don't know.
Now that this is our third amigo from Bricktown, are there little similarities in between the three? Can you sense common things in the base maybe? Maybe
subtly in the base, but I think what almost makes them so cohesive with each other is like they do have the same thumbprint in the geniusness of how it's put together.
Right.
But they do not smell anything like each other. Like they all have their own identity. I feel like that whole line everyone has their own lane in his line so far, which is super cool.
Generally, we can tell an artisan based on how they build the complexity of their scent. We can almost tell a gentleman's nod from a barrister and man just because of how the artisan has put together the scent. So I bet you that's happening here with Phil as well.
And I feel like there's some genius in how, when you read the list for at least the past few that we've done, it's not a crazy long list, but it's how they all intersect. That's where the genius lies so far with his perfumer's nose.
And it's funny, I was just reading a post from somebody that was talking about the difference between dupe oils of colognes and original shaving soap scents, and about how very often those dupes have too many scent notes. It's just too much of something swirling around. It's almost designed to hide the scent notes inside of an obsession for men kind of thing. But the original shaving soap scents are designed to showcase their scent notes and how cool they are when they come together. So I'm excited. It's not always about complexity. The best chefs make dishes with 3 ingredients and one of them salt,
It's true.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, no more stalling. Get your nose in there.
Look at my
Meet our Carpenter's mate here.
Right? Okay, here we go. Shaken clam. Whoa. There is something clean and beautiful in this that does border on a citrus. I wonder if there might be one other thing hiding in this. Wait a minute, that's beautiful.
Unless that's part of the base that would just like somehow adds to the scent so well.
No, I think it's just these giving a clean sense that is so clean. My nose is almost seeing it as bergamot.
Yeah, I think that's where I was at.
Oh, I love that.
I thought you would.
Well, because it's the spicier part of the leather for me, but it's the clean spices. It didn't go like cashmere new car leather. This is still like leather you'd find using straps on a ship, right? But there's something like you said, maybe it's just brand new, but there's something about the rich spices in that leather that for me are reminiscent of tobacco spices. And it's beautiful. And then the cedar, there is something else going on in here. Because generally cedar for me, y'all, doesn't change very much from soap to soap. I know my cedar scent, right? So this is different. This is definitely a cedar, but I think it's almost like the cleaner spicier part of the cedar, to almost like what you said,
Right.
being very new leather, being very new, like a fresh cut of a piece of wood.
Something like that.
That almost soapy in the heavenly high notes of this. This is, I think, more than just those three. I think there's like something at the very end of this that just gives it that little sunshiny smile, but I'm not sure what it is.
And I just picture, like all the military vibes of like everything has to be clean.
Right.
Everyone has a job on the ship. Like it's that almost like so clean it's pretty.
This will help paint a picture for you. Bazaar from Carpenter's Mate is way darker and spicier than this. Even Lafayette, the barbershop, might even be a little spicier than this. This is clean. This is beautiful and bright.
Right. I almost just assumed from the title and things that it was going to be a warmer scent.
Right.
And it is. It's much more of a brisk, clean scent.
This is a morning cedar and leather. Y'all, this does not go past 3 p.m.
I'm with you.
It's almost like taking them to the point of where their natural sweetness, it comes out and becomes almost prevalent.
Yes.
Wow. This is wild.
I feel like there has to be more magic than just 3 cent notes, but the way that they're working together, that is magic on its own.
Well, I suppose we could go back and take a look at the sales page. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at razoremporium.com. We have our 3 amigos. Our scent notes are
cedar, leather, and woody. So you pick. I guess that might be where some magic's happening.
Well, now let's have a grown-up conversation, because woody could be anything from pencil shavings to that green layer right under the eucalyptus bark that is just almost completely menthol. So woody could be anything. I kind of wonder if that's what I'm sensing.
Yeah.
It's sort of giving me that light, clean, almost like a shifra kind of a thing.
Right, because it has a little bit of a greenish vibe. Not much, but there's just something in there that must be in the woody category.
Right, like cypress, like something
like
really
that.
like a bright, beautiful, white, clean wood.
I'm not getting
mahogany. It's not any of those.
Not eucalyptus, like not the ones that you jump to first. It's something sneaky.
Ooh. And y'all, it does help that a carpenter did have to sort of put this brush together. It is half wood. Would you like to introduce this gorgeous
Yes, this
piece
is
of
my
hardware?
moon soaps brush, but we thought since we were doing something from California, since Phil's in California, that we should bring out our other California friends.
And y'all, I have just placed an order for Old School
It's
from
true.
Moon Soaps to review on my birthday, December 18th. So that
going
is
down.
a-coming. And this is our Haley's Artisan 3D printed bowl. We love that they put a little epoxy
It's
at the bottom to give it a little roughness against the bristles there, help get the soap all loaded up. And this is what you've all been waiting to see. This is the 2.0 version of our Smaldridge Memorial Bougie Sprayer. And this is the patented Barbershop Duet Vertical Soap Bloom. And it goes like this.
You have to make the sound effects.
7 sprays just to get the soap wet. But then we're going to let the water chill out at the bottom of the bowl like this. Then we're going to bring the bristles right here against the soap and spin the brush. Now we're going to start to make a little spirograph kind of thing going on. We're going to go one way. We're going to go the other way. But y'all, there are a lot of bristles that are being neglected right now. So we're going to turn the brush. And then it starts making this like hexagonal spirograph pattern at the bottom of the bowl. Go the other way. We're just bringing that soap onto the bristles in a new orientation and in a new direction and loading about 80% of it onto those bristles. And if it gives you any resistance, push down till you start to feel the backbone of the brush. Now, here's the dangerous part. When you go down for the water now, it's going to get a little sloshy. So be gentle, go slow. Wet the bristles. Now you're building your lather between the bristles of the brush and the bottom of the bowl, and you get a much different result. And I was thinking about this last night. See if I'm right.
Okay.
You kind of want to avoid having to add more water. Add more if you please, but try to get it so that if you need 10 pumps of that total, you put 10 pumps of that in at the beginning. Because I have figured out that we really don't remix our water with our soap the way we should. And it kind of kills some of the lather. So if you can start with all of the water you're going to need, I have found that gives me a much better lather. We need to add more water. I'm kidding.
Oh, I just got a whiff. There it
Getting the
goes.
sense of a beach. Are you kidding me? Like a beautiful sandy beach in the morning.
Like, how did I know I was out in the ocean? Like, there's something crisp and brisk in the air.
I didn't even think that this is a boat.
Right.
Of course you'd be out of the... Of course there's going to be some kind of seawater
I'm
in
assuming,
this.
yes, if we're talking Navy here.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a bit of a beautiful seawater botanical.
Right? And my brain's almost like trying to add in like motor oil or
That's what it
something.
is.
It's not in there.
I have cracked the code.
Yeah?
I have cracked the code, y'all. There is a little tiny bit of a floral and something else in here that's giving the sense of seawater.
Like
Hold
a
on.
little aquatic-y.
Right?
Maybe?
So this is something you will only find on the Barbershop Duet. This is the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea whiff on 3, 1, 2. Oh, tell me I'm wrong. Oh,
It's
tell
more,
me there's
it's actually
not
more in the lather.
something in here that gives you the sense of being out on the water. This is an aquatic. This is an aquatic! Why didn't we see that coming? Carpenter's mate makes perfect sense to me. Y'all, this is his aquatic.
But there's something in the end with the woody sense that almost could be encroaching on something. I think my brain's just filling it in.
Right.
But to make it masculine, like my brain's like, can I add a motor oil to this? Can I add something that's like so masculine it's undeniable?
No, but that's what I get. This is just like that working man's
Right.
barbershop kind of a
that
scent.
identity is like somehow in the scent with the woods. And I think you're right. Something in the aquatic-y zone that's keeping it like that morning scent. If you walk out up onto the top of the ship, like that first whiff that you get, somehow it's there.
It is almost missing a motor oil or a whiskey kind of sense.
Right, like that's
to
the
it,
next
right?
part that my brain's like, hold on, what lane are we in? I don't know, but I think we should be friends with this, you know?
That is gorgeous. All right, y'all. So in this sense, I think we better go below decks and see what they know. You know what this name immediately made me think of? There is a fantastic TV special called The Mayflower Voyages, and it was made by the Peanuts cartoon folks, like Charles Schultz, right? So it's the story of the Mayflower, but it's done with the Peanuts characters. There's a point where the Mayflower, like, breaks, like, seriously breaks, like its main beam cracks down the middle in a big storm. So they have this meeting of, like, we should, like, turn around. Right?
What's the other option?
Well, y'all, the Carpenter's mate on board the Mayflower fashioned what you're seeing down here in the corner. It was a system so that they could rig an I-beam so that it would help support the broken beam and sort of put it back into place. I'm watching this in my classroom when I'm 7 years old going, how did they have that level of repair kit in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? I call shenanigans on this. No, it was a carpenter's mate who literally had to like carve and create that solution. Y'all!
I mean, if you had to go home, like how long that would have to take? You're like right in the middle.
You're
what
not
do
like
you
halfway
do?
to the mall. You're in the middle of the North Atlantic. You gotta turn around. There was a dog on board. There was a baby born during the crossing of the Mayflower. Who is 7 months pregnant and gets on the Mayflower? People get nervous about home births, middle of the North Atlantic and the Mayflower, a bunch of pilgrims standing around staring at you. Pooh Nanny to wind, middle of the Mayflower. I mean, it's Houston, we've got a problem. It's Apollo
Big
13,
problem.
like back in the early days, right? That was the OG.
First mission, yeah.
Right, if your boat was crossing the ocean, you had to figure out a way to either fix it or die. So that carpenter's mate was a pretty important guy, and he better smell good.
My Uncle Pat is probably the best MacGyver I've ever met. And he was always on ships and boats. And if something broke down, you had to fix it.
Right.
You had to get back to shore. Like, you figured it out. What do I have on deck? Okay, duct tape, bungee cords, like, you know, the secret sauce. What do we got to fix it?
So once a year, my public school would put the more interesting kids on a boat and make them go whale watching. I think it was their little vacation from having to deal with this. And my friend Tony would year after year get sick as a dog. I mean, you have never seen somebody this seasick. I have never seen actual eyes rolling back in heads like that. He joined the Navy for life. I swear to God, none of us understood it. Retired an officer with a massive pension. Good for you, buddy.
Right? But it is different. Like, where we live, we can see the ocean right there.
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
it's so funny you forget that we are kind of spoiled. Like, yeah, you want to go out in the bay? Hop on the boat. Let's go.
You want to smell an aquatic? Go for a walk outside.
Right.
I don't even hardly sense leather. This is just such a charming... It's almost like when you taste a candy that you know, but it's so well done. You're like, can I have a box of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
get
what's
that.
happening with this, with me and the leather in this.
Right?
You getting that?
Like, I think that's one of the best, like, almost working man's type of scents that we've had so far. It's you read those 3 scents and you think, I have something that has cedar, leather, and woods in it. I'm good. But this is a very different take on this.
Y'all, and a plant-based formula, and one of my favorites. I'm going to lather my face, and Sarah's going to read you the ingredients. It starts with stearic acid, which for me tells me you're going to get a stable lather. And then going on from there, you've just got a small list. What are we looking at?
Water, coconut oil, potassium hydroxide, shea butter, glycerin, and fragments.
That's it.
Simple.
That is it, y'all. But what else do you need? And in just the right balance and put together in just the right way. May I do the honors?
Yes,
Here,
please.
look at this, y'all. What else you need? Ready for a pass or two. Look at this. That is beautiful. Feels good on my face, too. It feels thicker than most lathers do.
I don't know how, but I feel like speaking of field trips, I think when I was in 4th grade, we went to like Fort Mason and all of that whole area around here.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting like a smell like I'd be standing right out there.
Something vintage but dapper, something respected but traditional. Y'all, what a lovely scent this is, and perfectly fitting in the Bricktown Grooming family.
Yeah, for sure. It's really timeless. There's something about this that I feel like just any age group would kind of really understand somehow.
You know, you can almost tell a whole story with this. Carpenter's Mate is your boat ride, and then when you get there, you use Lafayette in Paris as your barbershop, and then you might go over and hit a bazaar or two in the afternoon.
That's our collection so far.
Oh,
we got a journey happening.
So, y'all, there are a few more Bricktown soaps out there on the horizon. Let us know your favorites in the comments, because this will certainly not be our last.
No, we definitely need to add some more. And it was so fun meeting Phil to understand his nose behind it. We're still trying to trick him to do an Instagram live with us, so hopefully we can get him on soon.
So it's pretty easy, y'all. Just be Snoopy, getting on board the Mayflower, ready for a new adventure. You're going to wave goodbye to Charlie Brown and everybody on the dock, and you're going to look out at that sea air and look forward to putting your head over the side of the ship and letting the wind blow your ears. But the first time you realize you got to go outside and go potty, you're going to get your own. So head over to razoremporium.com where you'll find this and all kinds of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Carpenter's Mate, and let's have a grown-up conversation. Not at all as deep or rich a scent as I was expecting it to be, because those light citruses are what's giving you the sense of a bright sunrise on the horizon. This does not get bogged down into the sawdust and the problems the ship was having. No, y'all, this you're up on the crow's nest looking down at your work, making sure everything for the day is set and orderly. I love this scent. And y'all, when it comes to the budget-minded shaver, $15, this thing has no business being as good as it is. $15! Hey, welcome to Messages.
So we decided for our November giveaway that we wanted to give you a chance to win $20 to Murphy and McNeil.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first Christmas episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck. I think the more time my nose is spending with this, I don't think it's motor oil. I think it's more like a diesel smell or something.
That's why she's here, folks. You know what they say is in Fahrenheit?
Oh.
A diesel note.
Well, fancy.
You're getting,
Phil?
You're getting something real in here. I'm going to need to call Phil. There is. That's it. Almost like how Presto by Barrister and Mann gives that phenomenal sense of gasoline, right?
Yeah, that's totally the lane.
Yeah, not motor oil. I think what you're getting is a little bit of a diesel note in here, but just tells you there's fire waiting to happen.
Yeah, because my grandpa used to work in the shop all the time, and they're working on the little mini race cars that they have, quarter midgets, and when he would come into the house, it was just like kind of that essence would be around him, and it's in here.
Y'all, we have seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High. We know everybody loves the smell of Ditto paper. Diesel makes perfect sense to me.
But it just fits that Carpenter's Mate lane like all too well. Like that's exactly what you're dealing with on ships and things.
Just because it's like heavenly light and outside the box. And, I mean, people buy like gun oil and stuff like that in shaving stuff. So it makes perfect sense to me.
It totally fits in this scent. And I'm so glad that all three that we have are so completely different so far.
Right.
I can't even imagine what the next ones are going to be.
And yet, you know they're friends. There is something about them in the scents themselves that has a common link. Not necessarily in how they smell, but in how they're put together and why they're put together. Y'all, these are here in large part to honor our greatest generation, as we have come to call them. And I love that these harken back to those wonderful things that our grandparents, sacrifices that they made for us. And we can remember them in little ways like this.
Let us know what the next one should be. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.